Hey, it's the Houligan here, and it's part 2 of the guitar giveaway! In part 1 of the guitar giveaway, we did an unboxing of a guitar kit by Leo James. In that guitar kit has all the parts and the pieces that you need to build yourself a guitar, which is what we're going to do. But there's a whole process to make that happen. We're going to build a bit of a custom guitar. That means we're going to customize all the parts in here. Does it mean that? Well, maybe not all of them. I don't know. So, when we opened up the box and we found out that the body had some kind of lacquer on it, or some kind of sealant on it, I should say, we had to sand all that sealant off. And you can see, here's me doing a whole pile of sanding. Yeah. Anyways, when we first pulled it out, it looked really orange, the body, kind of like this here. So, after all that sanding, it kind of looks like this now. She's all cleaned up, and if you look at the cavities, you can still see the orange in the cavities. I just sand the outskirts of it because the wife is going to do some burnings in it, and the last thing I want her to do is be burning a bunch of chemicals and inhaling them and then passing away on me.
He killed his wife.
Now the next thing to do is I'm going to take the body, I'm going to take the neck, I'm going to hand it over to the wife, and she's going to put her designs on it and then send it back to me.
Alright, well the wife got started straight away working on her designs. As you can see here, she was working on some kind of Celtic dragon she wanted to put on the front of the guitar. And she tried to put Houligan, the logo, in it somewheres, but it just didn't seem to work out. So she decided to move on to the back, where she was sketching out some kind of Viking guy, or skull Viking dude, that she found on the internet. Some picture she found on the internet, and she decided to make her own rendition of it. So she sketched it onto the back of the guitar. And once she got her sketches all done, and you can see here it is, finished product of the sketch. Then from there she moved on to the burner. She got the burner out on her kitchen table, and no, she didn't burn the kitchen table. Thank goodness. But anyway, she's got her burner set somewhere between 600 and 700 degrees. She's pretty hot there, and she's burnt her fingers quite a few times on it. But anyways, as she's working away here with the burner, she got all the lines in and just tried to darken all that kind of stuff up before she goes back in and starts shading things and making it all look kind of cool. But she's working on the horns here and got the helmet all done, and the nose piece over there, which I don't understand why the Viking dude needs a nose piece on his helmet, because he doesn't have a nose anymore. He's all skull. And the wife, she's just working away crazy here. Now, normally something like this for her to burn is going to take all afternoon to do. But with the magic of time-lapse, we got her all done here in probably about 10 minutes. Now the wife's going back and she's shading in some of the dark spots, like where the eye sockets are and the nose socket and whatnot, and making things look pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's interested in having any burnings done for themselves, just message us, and the wife would gladly do something for you. She does everything from burnings to paintings. She does a lot of pet portraits. People call her all the time to do pet portraits and stuff like that. But anyway, she's getting pretty close to getting the Viking dude done here. Working on his goatee. And like I said, once she gets all of her lines all burnt in nice and dark, she's probably going to go back over and shade this stuff to make this thing just pop and come right off the wood. Alright, we're slowly getting close to the finishing product here from the burning on the back of the guitar. I think she's just going to go back over it now and start doing a little bit of her shading and whatnot. And there you go. We've got a burning done of a Skull Viking dude. And yep, Haley even gave us her seal of approval on it. And then she started focusing on the front of the guitar where she was trying to get this dragon thing together that she was like a Celtic dragon she wanted to put on the front of it. She decided not to put the Houligan in the Celtic dragon. As a matter of fact, she just decided she was going to put it on the headstock instead. And she said she would also go in and put our Smith & Wesson logos on it somewhere as well too, and make it look like it was branded into the guitar, as you can see right there. Once again with the magic time lapse, what normally would take her all afternoon to do, it's taking her like 5 minutes here to do. And there you go. There's the dragon on the front of it. Now I took it from here and I brought it into the garage. And I had some old red stain that I made a few years back still sitting in the garage. And I thought I would grab that out and just douse this guitar with this old red stain and try to dirty it up, make it look like an old beat up guitar, like an old Telecaster. And after staining and rubbing it off, this is the product. From there, I moved on to the neck. And as you can see, we're working on the nut right now. Trying to get that old plastic nut out of there. Yeah, and we got a piece of it stuck inside. So, got to get the tools out now. Got to get some chisels out, and little files and a knife, and see if we can get that piece of plastic out of there without wrecking all the wood around it, which is kind of a hard thing to do, but, well, we'll see if we can pull it off here. The reason why we're pulling it out is because we're going to put a brass nut in there and give this guitar a little bit of twang there. So got some sanding paper out there, smooth it all off, and see if we can get that brass nut to fit right in there. So once we're done that, we got the brass nut out and made sure that it fit properly in there. Now we're not going to glue the brass nut in as of yet. We're going to wait till we got this guitar all together and the strings on it, and then we'll slide the brass nut in and see where it's supposed to fit exactly before we actually tack it in place. And there you have it, the brass nut. Well, then I took this back to the wife, and she decided she was going to put the Houligan logo on the headstock. As you can see, she's working on it here, sketching it out. Once she got all of her pencil parts done there, exactly how she wanted it to look, she got her burner out and started burning away on it. Now with the headstock, unlike the body, the headstock is actually made out of maple. So burning process was a little bit different for her to get everything there and make it really stand out. As you can see, she really had to go back over it a lot to make it shade out the way we wanted it to look. We wanted it to look like it was branded in there. And I think she did a pretty good job, if you ask me. One thing I did notice when it came to the headstock is that I don't think I got all the sealant totally off of it when I was sanding it, because I really didn't want to sand it too much. But anyways, once we were done with that, I got her all taped up because I'm going to stain the headstock as well too. And here's where there's a little bit of a problem. Because it's maple and because there's probably a little bit of the sealant still left on the headstock, it's really not taken to the stain all that well. It's not sucking it up. So I went over it and over it and over it and over it and over it a whole bunch of times to try to get it dirtied up. I finally got around to where I left the stain on for quite some time, almost a whole day, and then I went back and wiped it all off. And from there, we moved on to doing some sealing. And yeah, I know everybody out there's probably saying, what are you doing with a spray can? Why aren't you sealing this properly? Well, you know what? It's just a lacquer. Well, I should have a mask on there too, probably inhaling all that stuff in the garage. Probably didn't do my lungs any good. But anyways, we went over it about 4 times, and in between each coat of lacquer, we gave it a light sanding and then put it back up and gave it another coat and another coat, and well, until it looked nice and shiny. And you know what? I think it turned out pretty good. All right, we're one step closer to giving away this guitar. The wife, she went in, put all her designs up, burnt everything into the wood, then she gave the parts back to me. I stained everything and got everything sealed up, ready to go. Another thing that we did too is we took the pick guard and we did some customization to that too. You can see we got some music notes and everything on there as well, which I thought looked pretty cool. And just to give you a up close personal view, we've got the headstock all done up. The wife put Houligan on there and we got it all stained up, ready to go. Also, if you take a good look too, you can see we've removed the nut there as well. And we are going to put in a custom brass nut too, which is going to give this thing some twang. All right, so that's the headstock. Now for the pièce de résistance, we've got the body. And I'm telling you, the wife did a beautiful job on this as well too. As you can see, there's the dragon that she did in it. On the back, she's got the Houligan Viking dude. It looks really cool too, as a matter of fact. And on the front, she also put Smith & Hool logo in there, as you can see as well too. Everything's been stained and sealed to make it look really cool. Now we're all ready for part 3, where we're gonna do a build, and we got a bunch of custom parts that we've ordered in, and we're gonna put this thing all together. And then at the end of that, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna give this away to some lucky person. So until then, party on, dudes!
It's the Houligan here. We got to do a disclaimer, and the reason why is we're going to give something away. All right, so here's the disclaimer. First of all, let's start with YouTube. In the description, you're going to find the community standards for YouTube. We are abiding by all of them, which means YouTube has absolutely nothing to do with this giveaway any way, shape, or form. Just letting that right out there, and we are going to stay within the community guidelines with this giveaway. So that means, once again, either YouTube or Facebook or any of the platforms, social platforms out there that this video actually might end up on, we have no affiliation with them in any way, shape, or forms when it comes to this giveaway. The other thing too is we have no sponsors. We absolutely have no sponsors when it comes to this giveaway. We are the sole proprietors of this thing, which means the Houligan is the guy giving this thing away. Nobody else. So if you hear any names that are mentioned in the videos that you're about to watch, they have no affiliation with this giveaway. So don't call them and don't bug them, because they haven't sponsored us in any way, shape, or form. The next thing is we need to talk about the Ontario gaming laws, because I live in Ontario, Canada. So we have to abide by those laws. And the first one is you have to be 18 years of age to get in on this giveaway. Sorry, hate to say it, but that is what the case is. So the other thing is too, with the gaming laws, we're going to keep this giveaway between Canada and the United States. We're not going outside of any of those borders to give this away. Main reason why is I don't want to ship worldwide, just to let you know. We are only doing this in Canada and the United States, and that way I'm only dealing with all their gaming laws. So if you live in a province or in the States, you're welcome to get in this, but make sure that you check your gaming laws in them states or those provinces, and void where prohibited. That means if you are not allowed to gamble in that state or that province, you can't get in on this, all right? So I just want to make that perfectly clear. So I'm covering my butt, and it's a big butt. But anyways, if void were prohibited. So if you can't get in, I'm sorry to say about that. But anyways, once again, we're keeping it to Canada and the United States alone for this giveaway because we just don't want to ship worldwide. Next thing is, there is no proof of purchase. Can I say that again? No proof of purchase. Don't send me your money. I don't want your money. We don't need the money to get in on this. And when you see the rules, you'll understand why, which is coming up here right shortly. So once again, no proof of purchase. You do not need any money, or you don't have to pay me anything to get in on this giveaway. Okay, let's get down to the rules and the brass tacks of this giveaway. You have to subscribe to get in. That's the main number one rule. The second rule is you have to leave a comment. The reason why you have to leave a comment is because that's how we're going to pick our winner. We're going to use Pick a Winner. So we're going to upload the videos into Pick a Winner, and what we're going to let that do is we're going to actually let it pick qualifiers. So we're going to get 5 qualifiers. Once we have those 5 qualifiers, then we're going to put all those names in a hat and we're going to go live and we're going to pick the winner live. And then you have 1 week to get back to us and let us know that it's you that won that. If not, we're going to go back to the hat and go live again and pick another winner. So you have 7 days to get in on it once your name has been picked. Now that doesn't mean that this is a game of chance. This is actually a skilled game because there's going to be 2 skill testing questions to the winner. So whoever gets picked, we have to give them skill testing questions. So it's not a game of chance. Just had to put that out there because that's another thing when it comes to the Ontario gaming laws. No games of chance. So we can't just pick somebody out of the blue and go, here you go, that's what it is. You actually have to pass skill testing questions, and there's going to be 2 of them. The first answer to the first question in the skill testing questions has to do with something in one of the videos. So you got to watch all 5 videos to see what the answer is to that skill testing question if you want to win the gift. And the second question is just going to be a math question. We just have to put that out there because it has to be a skill testing question. Otherwise, this is a game of chance and we're not doing that. The game is going to run from March 13th to July 22nd. Now, in the videos, you're going to see that we're going to say that we're going to pick a winner after 1,000 subscribers. Well, yes and no. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, but if we don't get to 1,000 subscribers, I have to put in that the game will end on a certain date, and that is July 22nd. Why did I pick July 22nd? It's my birthday. So that's when we're going to end the game and pick a winner on that day, and that'll be it. That's basically the rules of the games. That's how it's going to happen. So when you hear me saying in the videos, oh, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a winner. No, we're not. We have to pick the winner on July 22nd because under the gaming laws here in Ontario, that's the deal. We have to give an end to it, which is fair. I understand that. We may never get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. So the game has to end at some point in time, which is July 22nd. How are we going to verify it's you? Because, hey, you know, anybody could just say, I'm the winner and email me. Well, here's how it's going to work is once we've picked the winner, we're going to give you an email address so that you can contact us. When you contact us, we're going to give you a code and you have to go back and edit your comment and put the code in the comment so we know it's you. To all you scammers out there. So what's the prize worth? It's worth $350. And I have to tell you that because under the Ontario gaming laws, we have to tell you what the value of the prize is. So the value of the prize is $350. That way you probably won't have to claim it on any taxes or whatnot, because I think you have to be like $600 before you start claiming giveaways on taxes and whatnot. Down in the States, that is. I'm not sure. Check with your gaming laws. Once again, and void where prohibited. Now, the other thing is we have to let you know is we are not collecting anybody's personal information except for the winner. And what we're going to do with that information is basically just correspondence back and forth and your address so that we can ship you the prize. Everybody else don't want your information, don't want your personal information. So the only information we will be collecting in the end will be from the winner anyways. So we're not keeping anybody's personal information for anything other than to send you the prize. Okay, last rule is you have to be willing to send us a picture or a video of you receiving the gift. That's right. We just want a picture or a video of you so that we can put it up for everybody to see that somebody actually did win this gift. Okay? So it's kind of mandatory. It's a thing that we want to do. So if you're not willing to do that neither, then don't get in. But hey, why not, man? If you're getting something for free, just want to get a picture of it or a video of it. The last thing, and is to cover our asses a little bit more here, especially with the gaming laws in Ontario, is the odds of winning. Well, This is a very gray area and a hard one to get into because we don't know how many people are going to subscribe. We don't know how many people are going to comment to this thing. So how do you put a number on it? So here's the thing is we've said in the videos that you're going to watch that we want to get to 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to base it on 1,000 subscribers. So you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of winning the gift. Okay, you may be more, maybe less. It's a gray area. I'm doing my best to put the odds out there for you, but we were trying to get at least 1,000 subscribers out there. So we're going to put it out there as 1 in 1,000 for the odds. I know there's a lot of stuff going on here and there's a lot of rules. Everything is in the description, like I said, so go check all the rules in there. Go check out all the gaming laws if you want. Go check out the YouTube community standards if you want. It's all in the description. We'll leave it all in there. All right.
They should have a little disclaimer that says, do not operate heavy machinery while watching this show.